So if you've been online basically anytime recently, you've probably heard about it. This idea that maybe you need a digital cleanse, maybe even a fast from pleasure itself.
Yeah, we're talking about the dopamine detox, or sometimes called the dopamine fast. It's this trend that's everywhere. It promises, focus, a total reset.
But, and this is the key thing, it seems to be built on some, let's say, shaky scientific ground.
That's putting it mildly. So our mission today is really to cut through all the hype, the viral noise, and get straight to the facts based on the material you give us.
Right.
We're really zeroing in on the medical side, the psychological context, to quickly sort out what's like actual proven behavioral stuff versus what's just, a fad designed to get clicks.
And look, to save everyone some time and maybe confusion, let's just start with the main finding. The sources, they're incredibly clear on this. The whole core idea, the premise of a true chemical dopamine detox, it's just not scientifically possible. It's actually misleading, right?
Absolutely. It's the name itself, the nomenclature, that's fundamentally wrong. There's basically no substantial scientific evidence saying you can meaningfully lower your natural dopamine levels just by, avoiding your phone or snacks for a day or two. The term detox, it reduces this incredibly complex brain chemistry down to something really simplistic, like an on-off switch, almost cartoonish.
Yeah, okay. I think that's the crucial point we need to hammer home. If we can't actually detox from it, what exactly is dopamine? And why is this whole fasting idea just, absurd to scientists who study the brain?
Right. So dopamine is a neurotransmitter your body produces naturally. It's a chemical messenger in your brain, and it's way more fundamental than just the pleasure chemical label it gets online.
Okay.
Sure, it plays a role in reward pathways. That's why, checking a notification feels good. But its core functions are absolutely essential for just being human. Things like learning, motivation, mood, attention.
So it's not just about getting a quick buzz from a social media like or something.
Oh, not at all. Look, if you could truly detox from dopamine, like if your brain just stopped making it, you'd face severe, really serious health issues. Involuntary ones.
Like what?
Well, dopamine is absolutely essential for motor control. Think about conditions like Parkinson's disease that comes from losing the neurons that produce dopamine.
Wow.
It also plays a huge role in heart function, blood flow. Basically, your body needs a certain baseline level of dopamine production just to keep you alive and, functioning.
That completely reframes it. Calling it a detox isn't just inaccurate. It sounds almost dangerous. It's like basic infrastructure for survival, not some toxin you can just flush out over a weekend.
Precisely. Your body naturally produces and regulates dopamine all the time, constantly, even if you're just lying still in a dark room doing nothing.
Right.
You can definitely stop seeking those external hits like, sugar or endless TikTok videos, but your body won't stop making the chemical it needs for basic involuntary functions. And that's why the sources all conclude that the practice, it's much more accurately called a period of, say, intentional abstinence. Or maybe just unplugging. That's a really key difference.
Okay, that clarifies the science part.
Yeah.
But if the term is so wrong, how did it get so huge, such a massive trend? We kind of need the origin story here.
Yeah.
Who came up with this catchy, viral, but scientifically wonky term?
Okay, so that brings us to Dr. Cameron Sepah. He's generally credited with creating the original dopamine fast. But here's where the nuance really matters.
Oh.
He wasn't trying to invent some chemical fad. He was actually using a specific technique grounded in psychology, often with high-performing people. Think tech workers, venture capitalists.
Oh, interesting. So this actually started in a more clinical or at least professional setting aimed at people struggling with focus, maybe. Not just some DIY self-help blog post. That changes the whole picture.
It totally does. Dr. Sepah's original goal, and this is a really important detail, was to apply principles from cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT.
Right, CBT.
Okay. So his focus was always on behavioral modification, helping his clients break that feedback loop, that dependence on constant, easy stimulation. Phone alerts pinging all the time, constantly checking email, needing that instant gratification.
So if the sources are saying this is rooted in CBT, which is, well-established therapy for habits and dependencies, then the real goal isn't about lowering a chemical at all. It's basically about self-control, isn't it?
Exactly. It's really about creating some emotional space, encouraging people to actually tolerate uncomfortable feelings like boredom or maybe anxiety or even just loneliness instead of immediately reaching for their phone or some other quick dopamine hit to distract themselves.
Yeah.
It forces you to actually notice that impulsive pattern. And the success isn't in changing your brain chemistry. It's in recognizing how certain stimuli actively pull you away, distract you from bigger, maybe harder, but ultimately more rewarding goals.
I think pretty much everyone listening can relate to that feeling. The conversation pauses for a second, and boom, you're reaching for your phone almost without thinking. Pure impulse.
Totally.
So if the original fast was behavioral, what specific compulsive behaviors did Dr. Sepah actually target? Because that list seems really useful, it gives us the actionable things to focus on if someone wants to try unplugging.
Right. The sources lay out 6 specific types of compulsive behaviors that the original concept targeted. These are the activities seen as most likely to kind of hijack your reward pathways because they offer that quick, easy dopamine release.
Okay, what are they?
All right. First one, emotional eating, using food to cope, basically. Second, excessive internet use and gaming, think endless scrolling, getting lost online for hours. Third, gambling and compulsive shopping. Fourth, watching porn and masturbation compulsively. Fifth, this constant seeking of thrill and novelty, always needing new stimulus, new headlines, new alerts. And the sixth one, taking recreational drugs.
That's a really interesting mix because you've got physical things like emotional eating right alongside purely digital habits like gaming or scrolling. It shows the issue isn't really the type of stimulus, is it? It's the compulsion behind reaching for it.
That's the core of it. And what's fascinating, or what the idea suggests, is that succeeding here doesn't mean you're fighting a chemical. You're learning to manage your impulses.
Right.
When you cut off those easy, quick fix stimuli, you're essentially retraining your brain, encouraging it to seek satisfaction from things that are maybe harder, take longer, but are ultimately more valuable. Activities that require real effort, like, say, learning a new skill or finishing a complex project at work.
And those things release dopamine too, presumably.
Oh, absolutely. But it's a different kind of reward pathway. It's delayed. It's tied to actual achievement, not just passive consumption. It feels different, more earned.
Okay, so let's talk practical results then. If we just accept the name dopamine detox is wrong, what are the actual incidental benefits, like the documented positive effects people might experience if they simply abstain from those 6 kinds of high stimuli behaviors for a while, even just a day or two?
Well, the benefits seem pretty real, precisely because the behavioral changes are real. When you consciously unplug from those specific compulsions, the sources consistently talk about the potential for heightened focus, greater mental clarity.
How does that work?
You basically stop that cycle where the dopamine hit encourages you to just keep repeating these low-value, feel-good, quick behaviors over and over.
So the benefit is really about resource allocation. Like by stopping the mindless scrolling or the binge watching, you're freeing up mental energy and, crucially, time that was just getting sucked away.
Precisely. Just think about how much time some of those unnecessary compulsions can take away from productive things, whether that's work goals or health goals or even just organizing your home.
Yeah.
And there's research backing this up. A 2024 literature review specifically mentioned that people who follow these dopamine fasting-like ideologies, even using the wrong name, they often report 3 key things.
Right.
Better focus on tasks, feeling less overwhelmed, and fewer impulsive actions.
That feeling of being less overwhelmed, I mean, that sounds like a massive selling point in today's world, doesn't it?
Definitely. And this kind of leads into perhaps the most important incidental benefit, achieving a greater state of mindfulness.
How so?
Well, simply by avoiding the constant phone checking, the endless notifications, you naturally reduce external distractions. And mindfulness itself, well, that has its own cascade of scientifically supported benefits, things like stress relief, potentially lower blood pressure, even improved sleep.
It's on magic.
Not at all. It's just
No.
being more present because you've removed some of the noise.
Okay, so the core message here, what we're really saying to you, the listener, is that the benefits come from changing your behavior intentionally. It's a practice that just got slapped with a catchy, sciencey sounding but wrong title to make it go viral.
Exactly.
But are there downsides? What about potential pitfalls? Are there risks if someone takes this idea of abstinence too far?
Yes, and this is a really vital point. Because extreme versions of this fasting-like ideology can definitely be harmful. The sources explicitly caution that extreme forms where people might try to cut out all external pleasure or even social interaction can lead to negative health effects.
Like what, specifically?
They list things like increased anxiety, potentially malnutrition if it affects eating patterns drastically, and importantly, loneliness if people isolate themselves too much.
Right.
Moderation is absolutely key here. This should be seen as a tool for better focus, maybe managing mild compulsions, not a path to self-deprivation.
And since we established that the original idea had roots in CBT, which is used in treating addiction, we absolutely need to clarify what this popular detox trend cannot do.
Yes, a critical distinction. This practice, especially the popularized DIY version, cannot and absolutely should not be seen as a cure for substance use disorder or SUD. SUD is a serious clinical condition. If someone's dependence on any of those 6 compulsive behaviors we listed or anything else has crossed the line into genuine addiction, this kind of fasting is no substitute at all for professional medical or psychological help. It's a tool for managing moderate habits, maybe, not a clinical treatment.
Okay, that's crystal clear. So given that we figured out the real goal here is better mindfulness, better impulse control, not fiddling with brain chemicals, did the source material suggest any scientifically supported alternatives? Maybe a better way to get those same benefits?
Yes, actually. If the primary goal is improved mindfulness and reduced impulsivity, the sources strongly suggest looking at established practices. Specifically, meditation comes up.
Ah, meditation. Makes sense.
They note that practices like meditation are likely a far more effective, direct, and certainly scientifically documented way to achieve that better state of focus and mindfulness compared to relying on a non-scientific detox with a misleading name.
Okay, this has been genuinely clarifying, really separating the marketing hype from the actual behavioral reality. So
Yeah.
wrapping this up, what's the main thing you, the listener, should take away about the whole dopamine detox phenomenon?
I think our main takeaway is this. The viral version, the misunderstood dopamine detox, is basically a scientific fad with a very catchy but incorrect name. However, the underlying practice of intentionally refraining from activities driven by compulsion and impulse, that unplugging aspect we talked about, that can actually have a positive, maybe even profound impact on your focus, your mind, your lifestyle.
How so?
By consciously stepping back from those low-value, high-stimuli things, constant social media checking, mindless binge-watching, compulsive snacking, whatever it is for you, you are actively regaining control over your most valuable resource, your attention.
Yeah, connecting it to the bigger picture, the real benefit isn't trying to lower some chemical your brain actually needs to survive. It's about recognizing how certain things distract you, pull you off course, and then actively, intentionally creating space in your life for things that matter more. Productive space.
Absolutely. It boils down to an exercise in prioritizing, choosing high-value goals, things that require effort, over that easy, low-effort gratification.
Right.
And that really leaves us with a final, maybe provocative thought for you to chew on. Since avoiding those compulsive behaviors frees up a significant amount of time and mental energy, which is the real gain from this kind of fast, the question isn't just what you decide to stop doing, but rather what truly vital thing may be related to learning something new or hitting your health goals or personal growth. What will you intentionally choose to fill that newly created space with?